year-long competition. You've got Glitter Explosion up here, you've got Proper, and you've got Chip, but we've got a special guest, Hippo, joining us here on the desk. Coach, for, I can't even count how many teams at this point, but for Tribe, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be up here and talk with so many different things with you guys right now.
All right, we're gonna start talking all things Call of Duty Mobile here in just a little bit. We'll also talk about the grand finals. But before we do that, we have a little bit of a special surprise in store for all of you here hanging out with us. I mean, we can't do an event as big as our World Championship, and of course, not have an equally big announcement. So I think everybody, both here and at home, is going to be very excited for this one, because before we jump into our finals competition, we have a new Call of Duty Mobile map to announce. November 6th is right around the corner, so that should be very exciting for everybody at home. Hopefully you're as stoked about this news as we are, because it's to celebrate the game's 5th anniversary. Call of Duty Mobile is adding that brand new map to level up your Battle Royale experience. It's gonna be called Krai, all right? And this is really cool, and I'm glad you're here for this specific moment, Himbo, because I wanna pick your brain on this one. First of all, 5 years of Call of Duty Mobile. You're obviously an expert in the game. How cool is that? Just talk to me about that.
It's incredible when you get to see a game, especially a mobile game like this, being at the top of the top for 5 years straight. It's incredibly exciting. We have an incredible esports. We have an incredible game as a whole. And it's just so exciting to see what's more to come, including, of course, Krai.
Now, let's talk about this map a little bit, okay? Because it's smaller than Blackout, but larger than Alcatraz. Lots of compact POIs. We've got some seriously tall buildings. Like, depending on where you are going to, it's going to be the most urbanized map for Call of Duty Mobile. Large, complex buildings. We have a different play style, if you will. So talk to me about what this new map is going to do for the game.
I think what's really interesting to talk about here is the fact that the Battle Royale players and the multiplayer players kind of have their own preferences in terms of how they like the game style and also just overall map style. The Battle Royale players tend to prefer larger scaled maps and do long range battles, and at the same time be able to be a bit more campy and do a lot of these things where, you know, or in Alcatraz, if they really want to do that respawn mode and where they can have a bit more close range fights. But sometimes I find that these players might feel a little uncomfortable with that. Meanwhile, the multiplayer players don't exactly feel the same exact experience, perhaps, that they do in Alcatraz compared to multiplayer, because the intensity is just a little different. So being able to kind of marry both worlds together with Krai, where you have these complex, large structures, so that you can still have these long-range and intricate gunfights and like these nasty angles that you might want to find in a Battle Royale type of map, but at the same time, since they're so compact and so small at the same time, and also having these, you know, little urban areas that people can go around and these little headies and everything, makes it so that these people who want to have a multiplayer experience can actually have something reasonably close to that too. I think it's just going to be a great unification of both worlds.
Now, one of the things that we got to see in that little trailer there for this is the fact that we've got not only a variety of POIs, but a lot of them, Tranquility Parish, Safari Land, Animal Play Park, Principia Sanatorium, Thistledown Village, Industrial Park. They're all inspired by Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So how cool is it not only to have those areas inspired by, but then you also have Night Station, which is original to COD M and Krai.
COD Mobile has always been a game that has been a marriage of all the best aspects of Call of Duty. That is what makes it amazing. That is what makes it so that everybody can find something that they love in the game. But then now having a unique POI at the same time makes it so that we have a sense of identity. It's not just a marriage of all the CODs. We have our own sense of what we want to do and what we want to have and how we can push forward the game in of itself. And so I'm just incredibly excited to see how all the players explore all these POIs, and at the same time they see they run down the memory lane, a bit of nostalgia, but then they see the new POIs and they're like, oh, what's this? And being able to just have fun and explore the nuances, and perhaps, I don't know, maybe this can develop to be even more competitive. Maybe we can see a VR esports.
I was going to ask you about that, because obviously you mentioned, you know, the most urbanized map in COD M, but those high buildings are going to give you different vantage points. It's been designed to limit the amount of open area in this map to kind of force those engagements. It's less time running from spot to spot, but then also there are opportunities for players to camp, go for those ambushes, kind of lie in wait if they need to. Is that what you're hoping to see out of it?
Oh, 100%. I think that the strategic gameplay that can come in here is going to be very unique. It's going to be very different from any other BR map. I know that BR has been yearning so much now, the community there, to actually have some kind of esports structure. And if there's a map that's going to help propel, making that actually come true, then I think that this map might be it. But otherwise, even if not, I think at the very least, the players are going to have a completely unique experience that they've never been able to have before.
All right, well, we're just